Hello friends, welcome back to Facts Around Us. I know that I've been a bit too late because of my studies, but being late doesn't stop us from seeing the latest. Today I'm back with the second part of our previous video, Nature's Weirds Part 2. In our previous video we dealt with animals, of which some of are as dead as dodos. Now we'll be dealing with animals with crazy body structures, crazy hunting tactics, crazy looks, and many more. Come on! If you are given a picture of blue web feet and asked to guess what bird it is, you might probably say
a blue-footed booby. Well, these seabirds are special because of their blue feet, which is actually a sign of their health. Bluer the feet, healthier it is. This bird is native to the tropical and subtropical parts of the eastern Pacific, especially in the Galapagos Islands. This might look like a cross between a red panda, which I'll be talking about later, and a raccoon, but it's actually a member of the raccoon family called a Cotymundi or just a Coty. Native to Central and South America, Coties, unlike their nocturnal bros, they are active at day. The name Cotymundi comes from the indigenous language of South America's Cotim, which means belt nose. This is why cute and wise looking. Named after German Emperor Wilhelm II, the Emperor Tamarin is a shoot-to-see one. Iconic for its white long mustache and beard, this cute monkey might seem Japanese, but it's actually native to the Amazon. Ever heard of goats that, faint? Yeah, they're called myotonic goats or Tennessee fainting goats. It all began with a rare goat disease which affects the muscles called myotonia congenita, which somehow became hereditary. When frightened, they faint for some 5 to 20 seconds and come back normally. Let's meet the sarcastic fringe head. Well, it's not sarcastic as you might think. In fact, it comes from the Greek sarkasso, which means to tear flesh. And this is very horrible in fight. Just look how it defends its place. Small fish, big mouth. Who would digest? Okay, by seeing this photo, you may think, what's special in this sea anemone? But look closely. What you're seeing is a frogfish. Well, it's named so because its fin structure and body posture looks like a frog. This camouflage master is similar to an anglerfish in one way. Catch prey using a lure. Yeah, it has a kind of a lure which it wiggles to attract prey. The next second, the prey is gone. It may ring a bell for most of you when you hear or see a glass frog. It has got a master's degree in camouflage with its transparent or translucent underbody as its highlight. Moreover, with body coloring which blows into thin air, predators get confused on whether their meal is there or not. Ah, the great hammerhead shark. Famous for its hammer-shaped head, this sea beast uses all its benefits. Firstly, it allows the shark to get more thrust. Secondly, its eyes situated at the very ends help it to get a 360-degree vision. Third, the head shape stores more sensory cells, helping the hammerhead to sense better. And fourth, it can be used to stalk its favorite food, stingrays. Wait, is this the child of an eagle and an owl? No, it's the harp eagle, whose face looks like a cross between the two. The best fact about this raptor is that it's as large as a man, the largest eagle in the world. It's strange for its face and size. The face may look both serious and goofy, but don't meddle much. Is it a bird or an insect? This is the hummingbird Hawkmoth. Yeah, an insect that looks like a true bird. The way they flap their wings, move around, and suck nectar from flowers make these moths very interesting. Unlike the hummingbirds which have a long beak, the hawkmoths have a long proboscis. This is the tallest flying bird, a mix of a stork, loon, and a frigate bird maybe. The Jabiru, found from Mexico to Argentina, does look like a mix-up of these birds. They may look as they have a burnt black head, bleeding throat, but a fresh back. But that red blob isn't bleeding. It's somewhat like a frigate bird's chest. It changes color from pink to red when it gets aggressive. And these birds don't have voice boxes. Yet they make sounds by clattering their beaks and passing air through the gula sacs.
if some of you did love the blobfish, then what about this?
A stork with a vulture's head and mind. The Marabou, found in tropical Africa, doesn't look appetizing at all. If the Jabiru likes fresh fish, then the Marabou would only eat dead carcasses, the meat of dead carcasses, similar to vultures, and that's a vital job in nature. Similar to Jabirus, they too don't have voice boxes.
You might have seen pictures of mountain goats. Cool, aren't they?
Well, here's a majestic one. The Markhor, commonly known as the screwhorn goat. Impalas too have screw horns, but this Himalayan goat is more or less famous. In the local language, Markhor means snake killer due to this reason. Now, Markhors are sloppy eaters. Occasionally, when they chew, some saliva mixed with the shrubs fall to the ground, and people believe that this is an anti-venom of snakes. The African walking catfish actually doesn't walk. Then you might ask, which is that fish which walks? There's one answer: mudskippers. Yeah, these frog-faced fish mostly live in coastal marshes and swamps, and they regularly come out of water. With help of pelvic and pectoral fins as crutches, these fish skip around mud, hence the name. This blobby fish is somewhat similar to the fringe head in one way: fight.
Ever heard of mammals that were laying eggs? Really?
Yeah, they are commonly called monotremes. Only two animals of this category exist: the porcupine-like echidna and the duck-billed platypus. They were the primitive dwellers of Australia, but their cousins, the marsupials, kicked them off about 71 to 54 million years ago. The young ones, after hatching from the eggs, feed on their mother's milk. As strange as how a shark, despite being a fish, give birth to young. If there's an animal which is the only mammal with scales, it is the pangolin. Also referred to as the scaly anteater, their main diet is ants and termites. Its name comes from the Malay word pangolin, which means to roll up like a ball, and that's what it does when frightened. Sadly, this is the world's most trafficked animal, with over 1 million poached for its scales and meat. To spread awareness, we celebrate World Pangolin Day on the third Saturday of February every year.
You would have read of Pinocchio, the long-nosed puppet. But have you ever seen a real Pinocchio?
This old world monkey, named the Proboscis monkey, does look odd. They are endemic to Borneo, Indonesia. Now, let me ask you, do you know the actual use of this fleshy pendulous nose? Well, it's actually to get mates. The noses act as amplifiers of the monkey's sounds so that they can attract the females. Moreover, longer the nose, the better the chance of having a female. Many of you might have used Mozilla Firefox along with Google. Have you noticed this logo and ever found out what animal is that? It's actually the Himalayan red panda. Okay, you may ask, what's the difference between a giant and a red panda? Although they have similar ways of lifestyle, living in cold areas and munching on bamboo, giant pandas are actually bears. So it would be correct to call the firefox or the red panda the actual one. Yet, the giant panda is more familiar to us. Photos of sharks with their babies sticking to them are common, but most of them are actually a fish called remora, a suckerfish. Likely to be a mix of the leech and the cookie cutter shark, these stealthy hunters suck food with this sucker-like instrument on their head. A stealthy meat or blood sucker that looks like shark babies.
Try to mix an antelope with an elephant. You will get one of the world's weirdest antelopes.
Visaga. This unusual carrot-horned antelope lives in the semi-desert grasslands of Central Asia. Their strange bulbous noses are thought to filter out dust in dry summers and warm the cold winter air, but it's critically endangered since many died either by slaughter or by a mysterious disease. Looks humorous like a dodo, but it's fierce like a T-Rex. This shoebill stork may amuse and frighten you at the same time. Living in the swamps of eastern tropical Africa, these storks highlight their world-famous weapon, behemoth shoebills. The beaks can snap up anything it can eat, from lungfish to crocodiles to baby komodos. Although harmless to people, beware. It is a lemur, but it behaves like a flying squirrel, the Sunda kulugo. It actually doesn't fly, but rather glide across trees. Its habitat is widespread across Southeast Asia. This does look a bit bizarre, with wide eyes, short nose, bat-like wings with fingers and toes at its edges, etc. If that tusk of a narwhal is an inverted tooth, then the two long teeth of this water deer are inverted antlers. This strange looking deer in one angle looks like a musk deer rather than a true deer, and in another, a dog. Even though it's nicknamed vampire deer, it actually doesn't drink blood. Instead, it uses its fangs to attack other males. Its scientific name Hydropods enormis actually means unarmed water drinker because of the lack of antlers.
That was an interesting journey of animals, and time to sign off. Don't forget that if you like this video, please like and subscribe my channel. Bye and thank you.